staying with us on the Sports Show. Well, as we know, the SANFL finals are on, the grand final
Big one.
this weekend. And we talk a lot about the players and the coaches and stuff, but we thought we'd go a different tack. Let's talk about the umpires, how we recruit the umpires into the grand final. So this is a mouthful. Yeah. The man in charge of that, mate, this is Matty Northcott's title now, is the SANFL full-time umpire recruiter, development and retention.
Nailed it, Phil.
Yeah, got it. Well done. Thanks, mate. Hey, appreciate your time, mate. Know you're busy. Let's talk about we see the umpires, and there's been a lot of talk around looking after the umpires better, but to then go out and try and recruit young kids into umpiring, I mean, that's pretty challenging.
It has its challenges for sure, but I think a lot of credit goes to our leagues and our clubs for really embracing working with the umpiring groups as well. You know, they've taken a really strong stance on supporting, whether it be against player behaviour, coach or spectator behaviour, to really try and provide a positive match day environment for everyone, which includes the umpires. So whilst it has its challenges, we're definitely, I think, heading in the right direction as a sport overall, in terms of we know we need people to fill the role to make the game run. So calling out the behaviour that we don't accept and making the positive match environment.
That wouldn't have happened a few years ago. That would not have happened 10 years ago. The umps were umps. No one sort of worried too much about the umps, except when they made a blue. Then they were on to them all over them. But like you say, right now, there's the dissent rule, which has come in across the leagues. You don't see it paid that much anymore, but what they've done is they've pulled back the players from having a go. The players are now a little bit hesitant to have a go at the ump and whatever. So they don't have to pay that free kick. I know it was a shocking free kick to pay, I thought, but the way the clubs are working with the umpires department now, I think is excellent, because I think the umps are enjoying it a bit better as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's about humanising umpiring as well. You know, you said the umps are umps, they're people, they're trying to play a role in the game, so you know, they can be good, have good friendships, good relationships with the clubs and players, no different. So it's about us all, I guess, banding together and everyone enjoying their time in footy, essentially.
We had umpires, and going back to when the pre-AFL, that would get on the bus and go on the
with the players,
on the pub crawl with the winning grand final team. I mean, it looks strange because one team's won and they have a big party and whatever. And there's the ump sitting in there as well. But what I was getting at there were they were good friends with a lot of the players. They'd umpired a lot of games, and they were good friends. And you don't see that very often. You don't see the umps with
so
the
much
players.
anymore.
Yeah,
no.
with the players.
Not a lot on the losing bus either, I wouldn't have thought.
No. Not a lot of players on the losing bus either.
I mean, it has been a really good year this year. I know you said that Jason Brown's done a lot in that space, mate. To go from 329 to 759, it's over double the recruitment of umpires this year. So whatever you're doing seems to be working. Yeah,
so Jason Brown, our SANFL Juniors umpiring manager. So basically it was similar to what I just talked about, really connecting with our footy clubs and saying, hey, we need your help to help us get the numbers, you know, because if we don't have enough umpires, who's it fall back to? It falls back to the parents, the coaches themselves to grab the whistle and get out there and run the game. So, you know, they have really supported us in terms of, you know, they want to focus on their role on the day, which might be spectating or coaching. If they're supportive of creating a positive environment, helping us find people that are involved, they know it helps their club as well. So, yeah, it's been a really good recruitment this year, and I think from all reports, match day environments have been really positive. So we're hoping to obviously keep the vast majority of those umpires if they enjoyed what they were doing this year, and add a few more in next year as well.
Mate, women's footy's exploded in all states. Obviously, again, you need the umpires. Has there been an influx of women coming into umpire?
Yeah, it's a big growth target for SANFL and AFL nationwide to get more females involved in umpiring. I guess we know that female footy is sort of growing. A lot of the people that are interested started out as a player. Now we've probably got that 5-10 years of experience there. We've got some of those females that started playing, transitioning out of footy. So it's about us providing opportunities for them to stay connected in what's their next role, whether it be coaching, umpiring, and even for the females starting out at school age, if they're not enjoying the playing side of it as much, can they get involved in the game through umpiring? So we've got up around 200 female umpires statewide now, which is around 9% of our umpires overall. We want to grow that target to get hopefully another 100 next year, to be around 14% of all of our umpires statewide to be female. It'd be great to see the girls doing each other's games and even getting involved in the men's games as well. We see a lot of that now, which is great. So, providing pathways and opportunities for females is a big focus for us as well.
Because we don't really want to see the parents umpiring, do we? We
No.
don't really want to see them. I mean, they
Pretty hard to be unbiased when the kid's playing, mate.
best intentions, but we don't want to see that. So I'm really glad to hear that there's a growth in this, because I remember a few years ago we might have interviewed someone, it might have been Shane, who said that, we're struggling in this department here, where we need more umpires here, but it sounds like this, from what I'm reading here and hearing, is that there's a huge growth area in the umps, which is, I think, that's great.
Yeah, well, it's just about trying to create opportunities for people to be connected with footy, right? We know we need a strong base of players to fill the games and create games for us to umpire in the first place, but it's another role in the game, right? So if playing doesn't suit, people that like to run, be involved, make decisions, communicate, they can still have a great involvement in our game without potentially the physicality, or if they're not the longest kick or biggest mark or whatever it is, there's a place for them in our game to still be out on the field and being active. So
there's some umpires out there, and I work in the Adelaide Footy League a little bit. There's an umpire called Ian Gore, who I reckon has been umpiring for 30 years. And there he is, running around on the B grade there a couple of weeks ago. I actually got in a bit of trouble because I went out there with a $20 note. Only as a joke, but one of the other people saw me and thought
it wasn't that funny.
Yeah, didn't think it was that funny. But, those people are diamonds, aren't they? The guys that do that work, that just stay in the game and umpire. And I can't see him stopping. Terrific fella, and not a bad umpire.
No, that's excellent to hear. Yeah, we've had a couple of stories come throughout the year of people in community footy doing their 1,000th game or more, which is fantastic, which I think shows as well that once you get started in umpiring, it is an enjoyable thing to be part of. So it's really great to see those milestones. And we wouldn't survive without those people that come back week in, week out. They do a job for us, and no doubt we give them something in return, which is that health and fitness and that social aspect that, once they can't play anymore or whatever, that they're still involved. So,
and thick-skinned.
I mean, most people, most sports, be it basketball, be it footy, be it cricket, tennis, whatever sport, go into the schools, into the primary schools, into the high schools. That's the recruiting area. For the umpires, obviously it's an area you go into. How difficult to go into the schools to get kids? Because, there's that, umpire, I don't know if I want to umpire. And then almost come on, mate, if you're with your mate. And then suddenly I'm hearing where kids are going, no, we should go. This would be really interesting. Have you found there's been a bit of a turn going into the schools?
It's been really positively embraced by the schools. I think even a lot of schools that have specialist footy programs and things now, doing an umpiring component helps them with their playing side of things. They get to understand a few more of the laws of the game that they might not know, what the umpires are looking for when they're playing. So really assists with them in that degree. And I think once they get out there and go, hey, I'm in control of this game and my mates are playing, we break down that first barrier of chucking a whistle or a flag in their hand. They get to make a decision, and they bit of banter with their mates in the school environment. It's all good fun because there's no premiership points on the line, but they love getting into it. Once you get them started, the practical side of, there's a bit of art to umpiring as well, where to run, where to be in the right spot, how to make the right decision, what are we applying as our philosophy. So they do love it, to be honest, once you get them started.
Matthew, how do you find a good... If an umpire's umpiring, say, in Division 4, whatever, young kid, whatever, umpiring way away in the Adelaide Footy League or the Southern Footy League or whatever, how does he get discovered as being a good umpire? Do we have people out there looking at these, at junior umpires?
It's a great question, and it's been a big focus this year as well, is our connection with our community coordinators. So we've got a coordinator that looks after the umpiring group of every league, so we need to be regularly discussing with them who's talented, and those umpires to have the ambition to know that it can be a pathway through to the AFL as well. That's how they get started, They umpire at community level. If they're doing well and they're keen and committed, we, through those discussions, try and get them out to SANFL to do some 16s, 18s, onto reserves, league, and hopefully to the AFL. It's about that connection with our community leagues, and for them to help support that talent and those talented kids to have the drive to want to go further and know that they can make an AFL career out of it.
So there's always somebody watching them. Absolutely. There's always someone out there watching them.
There's plenty of opportunities in SANFL footy for the next umpires as well.
Well done by the AFL to get it into the SANFL and get out there and recruit the umpires. Matty, appreciate your time, mate. Busy time of the year with the finals coming on. Stay with us. Still, plenty more to come.